Over the last 3 years, consumers and professionals have spent billions replacing devices that largely do the exact same things as the ones they retired. Paying premium prices for a 10% faster CPU and a slightly brighter screen creates a depreciating financial sinkhole. The industry fell into a comfortable, repetitive loop. Even the professional hardware had severe operational limits. If you pushed an iPhone 15 or 16 Pro, the titanium chassis acted as a thermal insulator. Under heavy rendering or gaming loads, performance throttled by 35% because the heat had nowhere to go. Looking at the iPhone 17 Pro, the initial capital requirement is steep. Buying into this ecosystem starts at $1,099. Apple characterizes this hardware as a pocket-sized Unix workstation, justifying the cost through its entirely new architecture. To verify that, we have to strip away the consumer marketing hype. We need to evaluate this hardware using strict return on investment mathematics. If this hardware cannot prove measurable productivity gains and direct cost savings in your daily workflow, purchasing it is a sunk cost to be avoided entirely. The economic foundation of the A19 Pro chip begins here. This is TSMC's 2-nanometer fabrication process. Apple and TSMC successfully packed over 25 billion gate-all-around nanosheet transistors onto a single chip. As a result, this processor consumes less power at peak load than last year's A18 Pro did while sitting idle. This bar chart directly compares the benchmark data between the iPhone 16 Pro and the 17 Pro. You can see a 22% uplift in single-core speeds and a 29% gain in multi-core workloads, providing a measurable processing dividend for heavy tasks. This solid line indicates memory. The system now guarantees 12 GB of LPDDR5X unified RAM across all Pro models, giving heavy applications enough headroom to run without forcing background tasks to close. That memory capacity is what allows the device to run 7 billion and 13 billion parameter large language models entirely on device. Generating a 4K image variation takes under 2 seconds, with 0 external server latency. Shifting these tasks to local hardware with 128,000 token context windows reduces the reliance on external API credits and server uptime. For workflows involving high-volume diffusion or sensitive data analysis, the reduction in per-task processing costs creates a tangible ROI. But peak benchmark numbers are mathematically useless if the hardware melts down after 10 minutes of use. Speed requires endurance. Looking at this exploded view of the 17 Pro chassis, you can see a laser-welded copper and graphite vapor chamber bonded directly to the central aluminum subframe. When subjected to a 30-minute hardware-accelerated ray tracing stress test, the difference is clear. While the 16 Pro throttled and quickly dropped frames, the 17 Pro maintained a uniformly warm chassis and held a flat 92.4% sustained stability line. In financial terms, thermal stability means predictability. 0 dropped frames during intensive tasks translates to 0 lost production time during professional renders. The exterior materials follow the same logic. The display features a ceramic shield Ultra that resists physical scratches up to Mohs level 7, paired with an anti-reflective coating that cuts direct glare while hitting a peak of 3,000 nits. By combining a vapor cooling system that prevents overheating with glass that actively resists physical abrasion, the operational risk of hardware failure in the field drops significantly. On the back of the device, the triple 48-megapixel camera system serves as a direct financial replacement for a dedicated B camera on a professional film set. The 5x periscope lens now sits in front of a native 48-megapixel sensor. This hardware pairing produces a true lossless crop at 12 megapixels, eliminating digital upscaling. The system captures 4K video at 120 frames per second in full 10-bit Apple ProRes log, recording straight to an external solid-state drive. But the crucial feature for multicam workflows is the addition of hardware timecode and Genlock support. This allows multiple phones to sync frame accurately in DaVinci Resolve. Bypassing manual audio matching cuts hours of post-production labor, yielding immediate operational savings. Evaluating the data, the iPhone 17 Pro operates as a piece of production equipment with a highly stable, multi-day operational lifespan. The larger battery chemistry delivers up to 11.5 hours of continuous screen-on time, supported by a new 45-watt wired infrastructure that restores 60% capacity in 25 minutes. To decide if you should buy it, we used this upgrade matrix. It strictly plots the age of your current device against the objective return on investment of the new hardware. If you are currently operating an iPhone 15 or 16 Pro, the depreciation hit of replacing a 1 to 2-year-old device is too severe. Unless you have a strict business requirement for Genlock video syncing, the financially sound move is to hold. However, if you are holding fully depreciated hardware from the iPhone 12, 13, or 14 generations, the calculation flips. The leap to 2-nanometer processing efficiency, 12 gigabytes of memory, and reliable vapor cooling justifies the capital expenditure. Treat major technology acquisitions as capital decisions. Base your upgrades on strict operational utility and math, not marketing cycles.